चलते तो दिखते नहीं, मैं गर्दे में चलता तो दिखता, तू 10 टाइम सोचेगा ऐसा क्यों लिखता, क्योंकि मैं सीखता dopeness.
I mean, knowing Stan, he did crazy ad-libs all over the place, you know.
Dopeness, tight history, honeless, boneless.
Some of them are super crazy.
Shit. I'm saying. I sound like Mitra Mandal, you know I'm saying.
What's up, everybody? This is Kashmir, and you're watching me on Mashable Todd-Fodd. You know, I had started to work on the album, Karam, and I went out to Bombay with something like 60 beats prepared, because I was going to be working with a bunch of different artists over the course of 10 days, and Stan was going to be one of them. So I had a small folder, and the beat that would become Haath Varthi was in the folder. And when he heard it, he was like, oh, I already have something in my head. So it came out very quickly. And the beat itself also, especially at the time that I was playing it for Stan, it had only taken me probably like an hour or two to make. I was using a sample from my own library. I was sampling myself. It was a flute loop for the main riff, which everybody knows if you know the song. So it was easy. And Stan's a real character. He's very different than the other artists that I worked with. In a good way, you know, very unique. For this project, I had just gotten done making my new sound pack, Sounds of Kashmir, so 4. There were a lot of loops that while I was making the sound pack, I thought, I'm gonna use that for myself. And even this one, anybody could have used it. It was in the sound pack. Anybody could have used this. Then sometimes I'll do that, like something I really like, I'll release it. And then in my mind, it's like mental race. Like, is it gonna be me who makes a song with it or them who makes a song with it first, you know? Like even Emiway, he had a song, Machenge or something? Yeah. And he used a sample of mine, and then I made a song too with it, but I released it after his. So I got all these comments, you stole from Emiway's. I'm like, no, he stole from me. No, he didn't steal, he used it because he should use it. So first I do usually the main sound, the lead sound, and then I'll do the drums. And because it's 140 BPM, you have a couple of options. You could go trap, boom, boom, but it'd be very sort of slow trap. Or, you know, you could do something more energetic, which is what I wanted to do here. So it's almost like a Moombatone beat. I was definitely inspired by the Mirchi that Phenom did. That's why I asked Phenom to be a part of this project too. And what I like about it is instead of a Moomba beat, so instead of a normal Moomba beat, which is like this, you know, this would be too many kicks, you know? And it's too fast. At 140, this is too fast. This could work if you're doing it like, if you're doing it slower, like this. Like that could work better. But at 140, it's too much to have so many kicks. Usually in hip hop, it's really just one good sound and some drums. You can get more layered for sure, but a lot of great hip hop beats are just like that. So yeah, there's a kick here that's only happening once every bar. So this is the snare that goes with the kick. You're gonna need some sort of response to the kick, usually a clap or a snare. And here we're using this rim. The bass is doing a lot of growling. It's doing a lot of bending. It's barely staying still. You can see the automation here. This is where we have frequency automation on the filter, and we also have pitch bend automation. So it's doing this bend up until the destination note, which is right around here, but it barely sits on it. It comes from below, wow, and then goes back down. So it almost sounds like a mouth opening and closing. And for this, I just use Serum. So yeah, this is the way that I do pitch bend generally. I have another bass layer. It's like a sub layer. And then we have an 808. We have this. And this is where we do some thinking about how to make sure that people don't get bored of the melody, right? We are playing it for the most part in the beginning, just straight through. And then later we have an octave down and filtered sometimes. There was one section in particular where I wanted us to get away from the main flute melody a little bit, because it's going over and over and over again. That part, making it just right, was challenging. And in general, in the song, although you have this really catchy repetitive motif with the flute, you don't want to get bored of it. So you want to find ways to change it just a little bit, that it stays interesting to the listener, but it's never changing so much that you forget that that's the main idea, you know? So this is what I'm talking about. We come out of the verse. It's this part here. See, it kind of takes you away to a different dreamland kind of thing, and then it sucks you back in. So it's, you know, you're just sort of floating here, and then you're back in it. So it almost gives you like a second to chill in the song. Yeah, I really like that part a lot. I also like Phenom he took my drums and I think he made them a lot cooler. And he puts the drums like, some of them too early, some of them like I would never think to do that, but he's a genius when it comes to the drums. Here, this is where Phenom really brought a lot to the table. There's so many little drums and things he added. Like, look, just a lot of really random stuff all over the place, but it works. And it makes it really feel like a party. And then down here, he's got this beatbox. Like the whole time, there's like people yelling, and like my beat was pretty simple, kick, snare, and then he added all this atmosphere. And then there's these vocal chop things that he did. There's 3 here. And then there's this bongo. And then, I mean, he probably added like something like 12 layers of just random different drums. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and then down here are the vocals of MC Stan. So I use on his vocals my own plugin, which is called Cashmere Chain. If you want to know about like what Stan's stacking is like, this is really my preference. I put one in the middle.
मेरे गानों पे हाथ वर्ती अगर नहीं करा यहाँ पे तो मार पड़ती मेरे गानों पे हाथ वर्ती अगर नहीं करा यहाँ पे तो मार पड़ती
And I put 2 on the sides. So we've got a main take.
मेरे गानों पे हाथ
We've got these doubles.
मेरे गानों पे हाथ वर्ती
And then we have a crazier take.
मेरे गानों पे हाथ वर्ती अगर नहीं करा यहाँ पे तो मार पड़ती तेरी बहन मुझसे प्यार करती मत मार
And this one's just kind of wild because the vibe of the song is to be a party. So if you have one that doesn't fit it almost sounds like a different person. Then it feels like more of a crowd is coming at you. And if ever I want things to sound like a crowd, I'll usually do a bunch of different takes. Like I would do it like this, and then I would step away from it, and it starts to sound like more people are in the room.
हाथ वर्ती अगर नहीं करा यहाँ पे तो मार पड़ती तेरी बहन मुझसे प्यार करती मत मार उसको उसकी नहीं गलती.
And as we get into Stan's verses, I'm generally a fan of keeping verses to be one take in the middle. If they're not going to be one take, some rappers really insist on having doubles, triples, whatever. That's especially when I'd use vocal line because I want it to be so tight on that verse. Anyway, here's what he did on the verse. I mean, knowing Stan, he did crazy ad-libs all over the place, you know.
Dopeness, tight history, honeless, boneless.
Some of them are super crazy.
I'm saying. I'm saying.
So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for Stan's vocals. For the most part, at any given time, we have one in the middle. Sometimes for the chorus especially, we have some on the sides. And then he has ad-libs everywhere, which just gives you that Stan crazy energy, you know? So my album just came out. It's #1 on all the charts and everywhere. It's called Karam, and it features many of the most talented guys in the Indian hip-hop scene. Not all of them, but I think we have some of the absolute best, most talented. You know, a lot of them are stars, some of them are up and coming, but they're talented all the same. And in some cases, the guys that are maybe lesser known made my favorite tracks on the album. If you're listening, go check out. It's out now. Karam,